The turquoise waters of the Caribbean Sea shimmered under the scorching sun. A ship cut through the waves, its sails billowing in the wind. This was no ordinary vessel. It was a pirate ship. The Jolly Roger fluttered ominously from the mast. The crew, a motley band of outcasts, scanned the horizon. They were searching for their next prize. The sound of distant cannon fire echoed across the water. Another day, another battle for survival and riches. The Caribbean had become a battleground. Spanish galleons laden with treasures attracted attention. English, French, and Dutch privateers joined the fray. These were the early players in a deadly game of plunder. They sailed under the guise of legitimacy. The Caribbean Sea became a haven for those seeking to escape civilization. Here, a new breed of outlaw emerged, the Caribbean pirate. These were not simply cutthroats and thieves, they were skilled sailors and shrewd strategists. Bound by codes of conduct, they carved their names into history. Their exploits would become the stuff of legends. Who were these pirates who abandoned society for the high seas? They came from all walks of life. Some were escaped slaves yearning for freedom. Others were former sailors, disillusioned by harsh realities, united by defiance, yearning for freedom, and belief in fortune. And then there was the lure of treasure, gamblers risking their lives for riches. The golden age of piracy, spanning from the mid-17th to early 18th century, was a time when pirates ruled the waves. Political turmoil and weak colonial governments created perfect conditions for piracy. The Caribbean, at the crossroads of trade routes, became a hotbed of pirate activity. Pirates launched daring raids on merchant ships and coastal towns. They amassed fortunes in stolen goods, from silks and spices to silver and gold. Their exploits became legendary, whispered in taverns and sung about in sea shanties. Blackbeard, the fearsome pirate, terrorized shipping lanes. Anne Bonny and Mary Red, disguised as men, became symbols of female empowerment. But the golden age of piracy was not destined to last. European powers began to crack down, hunting down pirate vessels. Naval squadrons hunted down pirate vessels, while colonial authorities offered pardons. Pirate havens fell, their leaders captured and executed. The romanticized image of the free-spirited pirate began to fade, yet the legend of the Caribbean pirates lived on. Their stories continued to be told, passed down through generations. They became symbols of rebellion, adventure, and the enduring human desire for freedom. And in the centuries since their reign of terror, they have never truly faded from our collective imagination. The Caribbean, with its azure waters and swaying palm trees, might seem an unlikely birthplace for piracy, yet the seeds of this era were sown in European halls of power. In 1494, Spain and Portugal carved up their newfound world. The Treaty of Tordesillas had far-reaching consequences. Other European powers like England and France were not about to sit idly by. The Caribbean became a focal point for these rivalries. Spanish galleons, heavy with gold, navigated these waters. This treasure-laden traffic turned the Caribbean into a powder keg. The privateer was a legalized pirate attacking enemy vessels. They weakened rivals without full-blown war. It provided income for privateers and governments. The line between privateering and piracy blurred. Riches from the New World financed wars and shaped nations. Spain, flush with gold and silver, faced envy and isolation. Wealth fueled expansion but bred resentment. England, France, and the Netherlands viewed Spain's dominance uneasily. The Caribbean became the focal point of this power struggle. Privateering escalated, targeting Spanish shipping. Economic warfare weakened Spain's empire and emboldened rivals. The life of a privateer offered the tantalizing prospect of riches, but was fraught with danger. Crews faced treacherous voyages and fierce battles. Their actions could easily be construed as piracy. The allure of easy riches often outweighed the risks. The distinction between privateer and pirate began to blur. Ships once under European crowns now hoisted the black flag of piracy. The Caribbean's embrace. Hidden coves and islands were ideal for pirates. The Caribbean offered sanctuary. Pirates could disappear from sight. Tortuga and Port Royal became pirate havens. Outposts provided places to repair ships and recruit crew. The Caribbean becomes a pirate's playground. The golden age of piracy dawned in the mid-17th century, a perfect storm of lawlessness and greed. European powers neglected the Caribbean. Corrupt governors turned a blind eye. Privateering and piracy blurred. Pirate havens like Port Royal flourished. The golden age of piracy had begun. The art of piracy. Skilled sailors, shrewd tacticians, masters of psychological warfare, cunning, deception, and terror, speed and maneuverability, surprise attacks. The Jolly Roger struck fear. The golden age of piracy produced tales of daring raids and unimaginable treasures. Pirates launched audacious attacks on merchant ships and coastal towns. Bartholomew Roberts, known as Black Bart, captured over 400 ships. Edward Teach, or Blackbeard, cultivated an aura of fear. His flagship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, struck fear into sailors. These tales capture the imagination, a reminder of a time of terror and opportunity. The rise of piracy in the Caribbean was more than just a nuisance for European colonial powers. It represented a fundamental challenge to their authority. Pirates embodied a spirit of rebellion and defiance that resonated with those who chafed under colonial rule. Pirate havens like Nassau and Tortuga became micro-societies that challenged the established order. These outposts attracted a diverse mix of outcasts and those seeking freedom from European society. Pirate success had a profound impact on the Caribbean social and political landscape. The golden age of piracy left an indelible mark, planting seeds of resistance that grew long after. Pirate crews during the Golden Age were as diverse as the Caribbean itself. They hailed from many nations, representing various races, religions, and backgrounds. United by a shared sense of alienation from mainstream society, skill, courage, and loyalty mattered more than birthplace or skin color. The life of a pirate was a dangerous gamble, a constant dance with death and disease. Storms shattered ships, diseases ravaged crews, pirates clashed with powerful empires. Capture meant swift execution, wealth bred paranoia and distrust. Greed inflamed by Spanish gold. Peace was not guaranteed. Freedom came at a steep price. Pirates played a dangerous game with high stakes. Few names in history evoke the same sense of dread as Blackbeard. Edward Teach, synonymous with the golden age of piracy. His beard, braided with lit fuses, transformed him into a demonic figure. His flagship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, struck terror into merchant captains. Blackbeard's death in 1718 solidified his legend. While many pirates embraced ruthless brutality, Bartholomew Roberts, known as Black Bart, cut a dashing figure. Captured by pirates, he joined their ranks, displaying natural aptitude. He was also a fierce fighter. Roberts met his end in 1722, battling British forces. Despite his demise, he left an indelible mark on piracy. John Rackham, better known as Calico Jack, embraced the theatrical nature of piracy. Known for his flamboyant dress and love of a good time, Rackham lived on his own terms. He led a mutiny against Charles Vane and became captain. Rackham captured numerous prizes, amassing a small fortune. His legacy includes famous female pirates Anne Bonny and Mary Red. Rackham's career ended in 1720 when he was captured by the British. He was hanged in Port Royal, his body left to rot as a warning. The golden age of piracy produced unexpected heroes and heroines. Anne Bonny, an Irishwoman, became a symbol of defiance and female empowerment. In Nassau, Bonny's life took an unexpected turn. Disguised as a man, she embraced the pirate life. Bonny and Mary Read became a formidable duo, their exploits legendary. Mary Read's path to piracy was unconventional and perilous. Raised as a boy to secure financial support, she enlisted in the British Army, deserted to the Caribbean, joining a pirate crew. Disguised as a man, she proved her worth. Aboard Calico Jack Rackham's ship, she met Anne Bonny. Their bond challenged gender norms and inspired generations. Henry Morgan, a name synonymous with both brutality and success, lived a life of remarkable contradictions. He rose from obscurity to become one of the most feared privateers. His most audacious feat was the capture of Panama City in 1671. Morgan returned to Jamaica as lieutenant governor, bringing order to the region he once terrorized. The story of Stede Bonnet, a wealthy landowner from Barbados who abandoned his comfortable life to become a pirate, reads like a cautionary tale. He purchased a ship, assembled a crew, and set sail under the black flag of piracy. Bonnet's career ended in 1718 when he was captured by the British. He was hanged in Charleston, South Carolina. The romanticized image of a pirate ship, sails billowing, cannons blazing, often obscures the harsher realities. Cramped, filthy, and dangerous places where freedom and hardship, adventure and deprivation were razor thin. Pirates lived in cramped quarters with the stench of sweat and waste. Rats and cockroaches were constant companions. Life on deck was grueling, and brutal discipline was essential. Freedom came at a steep price. The pirate code, often romanticized as a symbol of egalitarianism, was a complex set of rules designed to maintain order amidst the chaos of pirate life. It addressed issues like the division of plunder, punishment for transgressions, and conduct during battle. A central tenet was the principle of equal shares. Unlike traditional navies, pirate crews divided their plunder more equitably. This fairness often masked a brutal reality. Captains often wielded considerable power, manipulating the rules to their advantage. Punishments were swift and brutal, ranging from floggings to marooning. The pirate code was a tool to maintain control in a dangerous environment. The romanticized image of pirates carousing and drinking rum belies the reality of their existence. Life aboard a pirate ship was one of constant toil, punctuated by fleeting joys and the specter of violence. A typical day began at dawn, scrubbing decks and repairing sails. Gambling, storytelling, and drinking were popular pastimes. The excitement of a raid was short-lived, and the cycle of toil began anew. The life of a pirate, while offering freedom and adventure, was fraught with danger. Disease, a constant companion in unsanitary conditions, was a greater danger than any storm. Scurvy, dysentery, and typhoid fever ravaged crews with terrifying speed. Medical treatment was crude, often consisting of amputations and bloodletting. Death was a constant presence aboard a pirate ship. A legacy forged in blood and rum, the enduring myth of the pirate soul. The golden age of piracy has left an indelible mark on the human imagination. These outlaws and rebels embraced a life of freedom and danger, becoming figures of enduring fascination. The reality was far removed from the romantic ideal. It was a life of hardship, violence, and constant uncertainty. Yet there existed a certain allure, a sense of camaraderie, and a rejection of the established order. The pirate has become an archetype, a symbol of rebellion and a yearning for freedom. Islands of infamy, the Caribbean's sheltering arms. The Caribbean Sea, dotted with countless islands and hidden coves, was a breeding ground for piracy. These islands became bustling centers of illicit trade and safe harbors for repairs. They were vibrant, lawless communities. Taverns overflowed with drunken sailors, fueled by rum and tales of daring escapades. Beneath the revelry, these havens were precarious places. Tortuga, the pirate's paradise, lost and found. Off the northern coast of Hispaniola lay the island of Tortuga. Originally settled by Spanish colonists, it quickly attracted those seeking to operate outside the law. By the mid-17th century, it became a haven for French, English, and Dutch adventurers. The island changed hands several times, its fortunes rising and falling with the tides of war. Yet through it all, Tortuga endured, its spirit of lawlessness proving remarkably resilient. As the 18th century dawned, a new pirate haven emerged, Nassau on the island of New Providence in the Bahamas. Originally settled by English colonists, Nassau suffered from neglect, its defenses weak, its administration corrupt. Pirates and privateers sought refuge here from European navies. Figures like Charles Vane and Blackbeard made Nassau their base. Nassau became a pirate republic in all but name. The success of pirate havens like Tortuga and Nassau, their defiance of authority, sowed the seeds of their downfall. European powers, drained by pirates, recognized the threat to their ambitions. The British, eager to protect their colonies, led the crackdown. In 1718, Woodes Rogers arrived in Nassau to restore order. The pirate republic crumbled. Tortuga met a similar fate. The French launched campaigns to eradicate the pirates. By the early 1720s, the golden age of piracy had reached its zenith. The Caribbean had become a costly liability for European empires. Treasure meant for royal coffers was being siphoned off by bold pirate fleets. The response was swift and merciless. European powers resolved to crush the pirate menace once and for all. Turning the tide, the rise of the naval hunters. The task of eradicating piracy fell to a new breed of naval officer, men hardened by years at sea, skilled in naval warfare. They were not the aristocratic gentlemen captains of old. These were men driven by duty and a thirst for adventure. One such figure was Captain Woodes Rogers, a former privateer who knew pirate tactics. Appointed governor of the Bahamas in 1718, Rogers arrived with a royal pardon for pirates. Rogers was a shrewd tactician and relentless pursuer, dismantling the pirate republic. Pardon and pitfalls, the seduction and betrayal of amnesty. Pirates faced a choice: accept the king's pardon and reintegrate into society, or continue their life of crime, risking capture and death. The pardons were alluring, offered by European powers eager to quell chaos. For some, it was a chance to escape the constant threat of capture or death. They could trade their cutlass for a plow and seek a peaceful existence. Others saw it as a chance to lie low and return to piracy later. The gallows await the long arm of admiralty law. Consequences were swift and merciless. Admiralty courts tried pirates without legal protections, answerable only to the crown. They were efficient machines of retribution. Trials were swift, outcomes foregone conclusions. The sentence was almost invariably death by hanging. Public executions were gruesome spectacles. By the mid-18th century, the golden age of piracy had drawn to a close. The Caribbean was being tamed by European empires. Pirate havens were crushed. Pirates were dead or imprisoned. Their exploits faded into legend. Yet the legacy of piracy endured. The pirate became a symbol of rebellion and freedom. The golden age of piracy, though brief, has cast a long shadow over the centuries. Pirates who once terrorized the Caribbean have transformed into figures of romance and adventure. Stripped of their brutality, they are celebrated in literature, film, and popular culture. Stevenson's Treasure Island cemented the pirate's place in popular culture. The romanticization of pirates cannot be fully understood without acknowledging the enduring human fascination with rebellion. Pirates represent a rejection of authority, a challenge to the established order. They embody a spirit of defiance that resonates with those who chafe under the weight of rules. This allure of rebellion takes on many forms. For some, it's a vicarious thrill, a safe way to explore darker impulses. The pirate becomes a conduit for our fantasies of living outside the law. For others, the pirate's rebellion holds a deeper, more subversive appeal. They represent a challenge to power, a reminder that entrenched systems can be subverted. Those deemed outlaws by one generation can become folk heroes to the next. The Jolly Roger, once a symbol of terror, is now an emblem of resistance, flown by protesters and revolutionaries around the world. The pirate's enduring appeal extends beyond mere rebellion. They represent a yearning for freedom, for a life unshackled by society's constraints, for the opportunity to chart one's own course. In a world where many feel trapped by work and conformity, the pirate's life offers a tantalizing glimpse of an alternative existence. Buried treasure and bloody tales. Pop culture's pirate obsession. The romanticized image of the pirate, cultivated in literature and further embellished by Hollywood, is deeply ingrained in popular culture. From children's cartoons to blockbuster films, pirates are a staple of entertainment, their stories retold for each new generation. Treasure islands, sword fights, parrots, and rum. These tropes, though often fictional, are now inseparable from the public perception of pirates. The success of Pirates of the Caribbean shows the enduring power of the pirate myth. These films blend action, adventure, humor, and supernatural elements, introducing a new generation to a stylized pirate world. Pirates' influence extends beyond entertainment, co-opted by businesses to capitalize on their adventurous image. A more nuanced legacy, separating fact from fantasy. While the romanticized image of the pirate dominates popular culture, recent movements re-examine their legacy. The golden age of piracy was marked by violence, greed, and exploitation. Many pirates were motivated by self-interest. Pirates were products of their time, shaped by political and economic forces. The sunset of an era, a final salute to the Caribbean's buccaneers. The Caribbean sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of gold, crimson, and violet. The once mighty pirate fleets have sailed into the mists of time. The waves now lap gently against the shores, a somber requiem for a bygone era. The pirates may be gone, but their spirit continues to resonate. Beyond the romanticized lens, the enduring appeal of the pirate myth. The pirates of the Caribbean were not the romanticized heroes often depicted in novels and films. They were driven by greed, ambition, desperation, and a yearning for freedom. Yet the romanticized image of the pirate persists, impervious to time and realism. Why do these outlaws continue to captivate our imaginations? Perhaps we see ourselves in their defiance, their challenge to the status quo. The pirate ship embodies the spirit of exploration and the thirst for new experiences. If you enjoyed this journey through the golden age of Caribbean pirates, don't forget to like, subscribe, and explore more historical videos on our channel. The sea remembers, echoes of freedom in the shifting sands of time. The golden age of piracy may be over, but the sea still holds their memory. The waves whisper tales of daring raids and buried treasure. The wind carries echoes of sea shanties and cannon fire. The sea, in its vastness, remembers.